Generations of women fought for our rights. Our right to vote, our right to financial independence, and our right to reproductive freedom. Our mothers and grandmothers marched for us. Because of them, my husband and I were able to choose if and when to start a family. And we have two energetic boys running around at home. Now it is our turn to take the torch for our children and grandchildren. All across our country, women are being denied life-saving health care and the right to determine their futures. And a second Trump term will be even worse. He will not stop at banning abortion. He'll let states track pregnancies. He'll put birth control and fertility treatment at risk. Trump's plan is cruel, it's dangerous, but it is not inevitable. Tonight, we mobilize for Kamala Harris. November 5th, we move forward with Kamala Harris because we are not going back.
Please welcome Colorado Governor Jared Polis.
Tonight, let's talk about freedom, including our most intimate freedom, choosing when and if to have children and have a family. And let's talk about Project 2025, Donald Trump's roadmap to ban abortion in all 50 states. Look, that sounds crazy, but right here on page 562, it says that Donald Trump could use an obscure law from the 1800s to single-handedly ban abortion in all 50 states, even putting doctors in jail. Page 486 puts limits on contraception. Page 450 threatens access to IVF. On page 455, Project 2025 says that states have to report miscarriages to the Trump administration. Page 451 says the only legitimate family is a married mother and father where only the father works. You know what? I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to put that in my pocket so I can share it with undecided voters so they better understand what's at stake this election. Project 2025 would turn the entire federal government and bureaucracy into a massive machine. It would weaponize it to control our reproductive and personal choices. Look, as a Redditor, gamer, entrepreneur, and Swiftie from the free state of Colorado, I'm excited by Kamala Harris's vision for protecting and expanding our personal freedom, internet freedom, and economic freedom. Democrats welcome weird, but we're not weirdos telling families who can and can't have kids who to marry or how to live our lives. These Project 2025 people, like Trump and Vance, are not just weird, they're dangerous. They want to take us backwards, but we aren't going back, like ever, ever, ever. Let's stop Project 2025 and elect Kamala Harris president this November.
Please welcome Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Hello, America! As a proud Floridian, I bring you a cautionary tale. For the people of my state, Project 2025 isn't just a threat. It's a reality that we battle every day. From the classroom to the emergency room, Governor DeSantis turned Florida into a testing ground for the right's most egregious, dangerous policies. I can tell you firsthand, it's been devastating for families in my district and across the state. Today in Florida, state policy requires that kids are taught racist lies about so-called benefits of slavery. Books are banned. Teachers are censored. And our LGBTQ+ community endures endless state-sponsored hate. Even a cruel "don't say gay" school law. Today in Florida, as we grapple with record heat and rising seas, extreme MAGA Republicans deleted mentions of climate change from state law. Today in Florida, a near total abortion ban endangers women's health and their lives every day. I keep thinking about a Central Florida woman I met named Deborah. And at 23 weeks pregnant, she got news every future parent dreads. Her baby's kidneys never developed. Doctors told her that not only would her baby not survive, her own health was in danger. Deborah couldn't get the care she needed in Florida, and she couldn't afford to travel hundreds of miles to get it. She had no choice but to carry her son Milo to term, only to watch him die in her arms 2 hours later. This is Project 2025 in practice. It's what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance want for the whole country. But we're not going to let it happen, are we? Now, I say this as a Floridian, but also a mom and an American. We can't let them do to America what they did to Florida. Are you with me? So let's fight like hell to elect Kamala Harris, the next president of the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Please welcome Chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, Susan Del Bene.
Hello, Democrats! It is my honor to represent the great state of Washington and to lead the House Democrats' work to take back the majority. As I travel the country, I hear the same thing. People want governance that works. They don't want tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, not a national abortion ban, or more chaos and dysfunction, or blind loyalty to Trump. In other words, they don't want Republicans in charge. We're here because we need to elect Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. And giving them a Democratic Congress is how we turn promises into progress. A Democratic majority means lowering costs and growing the middle class, expanding the child tax credit and making it permanent, protecting reproductive freedom, and yes, a Democratic House means Speaker Jeffries will certify the 2024 election. We need just 4 more seats to take back the majority. The good news is we have fantastic candidates in winnable districts all across the country. In battleground states like Michigan and Arizona, in blue states like New York and California, and even in states like Iowa and Nebraska. And we're going to make history by picking up a seat in the state where I was born Alabama. In 2022, we came within 7,000 votes of the majority. So it's within our power to win these critical races. This election is about our rights, our freedoms, our democracy, and our future. So let's get out the vote. Let's take back the House. Let's make Hakeem Jeffries our next speaker. And let's send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House. Thank you.
Please welcome Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison.
Friends, I'll never forget when I first saw the video of the murder of George Floyd. I was heartbroken. I was angry. And that morning, my phone rang. And on that line was Governor Tim Walz. Tim Walz felt the exact same way I did. And a few days later, Tim appointed me to prosecute Floyd's murder. Almost a year after that, minutes after the guilty verdict came down, my phone rang again. And it was Vice President Kamala Harris calling to congratulate my team and the work. Now, Kamala and Tim, they understand the legacy of George Floyd. No one is above the law, and no one is beneath it. No one is outside the circle of our compassion. In the Republican Party, everyone thinks they're above the law. Hell, nearly a dozen of their own lawyers are facing serious charges. Even their lawyers need lawyers. These con artists are trafficking in the defective goods of division, exclusion, and fear. And friends, selling defective goods is a scam. And like Kamala Harris, I am an attorney general. And attorney generals know what a scam is when they see it. Like my friend Tish James, for example, from New York. America, we won't be scammed again. We're not going back, we are going forward. And Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are ready to lead us there. I've worked side by side with Tim Walz for 18 years. His office is right across the hall from mine. And I've seen him deliver for the people of the state of Minnesota every day. Everybody knows Minnesota is one of the best states to live in, to raise a family, to do business, and we've got the best voter turnout in America. Facts. Kamala and Tim, they fight for the people, and they also listen. And when they say we need a ceasefire and an end to the loss of innocent lives in Gaza, and to bring hostages home, they're listening, friends. They agree with us. There are people watching tonight, and maybe even here tonight, who aren't sure yet about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. If you want to know where they stand on some of the most urgent issues facing our country and the world, let me assure you, Kamala and Tim hear you. They listen, they care, and everyone is included in their circle of compassion. They believe that everybody counts and everybody matters. Let's put a stop to the scam of Donald Trump once and for all, and let's put Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the White House. Let's go win.